Welcome everyone. Today we're going to solve one of the biggest hidden problems in running an online business. You're spending way too much time doing things that your website should be doing for you. And if that sounds about right, you're in the right place. So I'm Ryan. I am the video content manager for WP Beginner. I make video content on WP Beginner's YouTube channel, and also I have had WordPress websites for about 8 to 10 years. And I've done everything from portfolio websites to building other websites for other people and things like that. So AI and automation is something I use every single day, both for my websites and for what I do, making videos and things like that. So it's something I'm very close to, and I'm really interested and excited to find out what you guys are using it for, if you're not using it, what you're looking for. And I'm going to take a look in the chat now and see what people are saying. So D says they use it for extensively for other functions in our business. Carrie, mostly for copy and some coding check. Cool. Okay. Brian, use it to develop a website for an event. That's cool. Yes, Margaret, this webinar is being recorded. You will get a replay link if you need to drop off. That's absolutely fine, but stick with it because there are some really good parts of this workshop as well. And yeah, you can always watch it back if there are some bits that I go a bit fast on. I try and get as much information as possible into this workshop. Robin, okay, Deborah, tried some automation tools but had bad results. Did things I didn't want with WordPress maintenance. Okay, cool. So maybe I can solve a few of these problems for people. Let's get back to the slides. So as I said, my name's Ryan, and over the next 40 minutes-ish, I'm going to show you a system that frees up 5+ hours every single week. If you stay to the end, you'll walk away with 3 automations that instantly save hours, a real AI workflow you can copy, and a system that keeps on running even when you take time off. So when you add up just what I'm going to show you in this workshop, it can give you back over a month and a half of your time in terms of working the working year every year without working harder. If that sounds good, let me know in the chat. I want to see some people, see if they want to save some time. Yeah, cool. Okay, so there are people saying yes. There might be a bit of a delay, guys, between you actually typing it and me seeing it, but yeah, I can see lots of people say it sounds good. Cool, we're on the right track here. Okay, so what if you could save 5 hours every week without burning yourself out, without obsessing over productivity hacks, without waking up earlier or working later? I'm sure everyone's kind of been in that situation. So what would you do with these 5 extra hours each week? Now, you guys don't have to choose the ones that I put on here. Let me know in the chat as well how you'd spend that 5 extra hours. Would you spend it with time with your family and friends? Spend it where it matters on your business, or get some peace of mind as well, knowing that you don't have to do everything that AI will do automatically and automation. So let's have a look. Other projects. So Deb said creating product, fantastic. Laurie said grow my business. Frank, other projects. Larry, my business. Anna, on business, fantastic. Yeah, so you're all thinking that you'd squeeze as much of your work time out of your business as possible. You know, get that growth in. Fantastic. Yeah. Don, can we have all 3, Audrey? Yeah, you can, definitely. I promise you. Brett, selfishly me, my health and well-being. Yeah, I'm with you, Brett, on that. Yeah, definitely. Free up that time, get some walks in, things like that. Definitely. All right, cool. Okay, so most of us don't have a traffic problem or a sales problem in business. We actually have a time problem, and time is probably one of the, is the greatest commodity that we have. It's very precious. We want to protect it. So small tasks silently drain hours of our week, and you don't even notice it because each one takes a few minutes. But a few minutes stacked across months become hundreds of hours, and today we're going to fix that. So one of the biggest myths in business is you don't have time to automate, but the truth is the exact opposite. You don't actually have time not to automate. And you might have seen there's lots of things going on about automation, AI at the moment, and how people are using it. We're going to get into this in this. Because when you don't automate, basically, because when you do automate a task, basically, you get paid back every single day forever. Automation is the only activity that takes time once, saves time daily, and pays you back 10, 100, 1,000 times over the next year. This is how you scale without burning out. So by investing time in this workshop, I'm going to show you how to combine AI, automation, and WordPress so your site can carry out repetitive and boring tasks automatically. See, it doesn't need to be just repetitive tasks. It can be the tasks that you don't like doing, basically. And things like, writing product descriptions, blog posts, etc., like that. So these are the things we're going to look at. So in this workshop, we'll write a product description automatically with AI, automatically post to social media with AI when a product or post is published. That's basically sharing that to AI, but getting AI to write the post for us as well in between. And then send a WhatsApp response to a form submission, purchase, or booking. So I'm going to show you a little bit different in the automation, a bit further away from the AI side of things, what this looks like in connecting things together as well. And yes, in this workshop, basically, you can do this on any WordPress site, even if you're a beginner, and you can set it up once and it will run every single day. So some people will ask at this point, but can you really save that much time? So we're just going to take a moment to look at this. And let me show you how much time you're already losing every week without realizing it. So this is the point that people underestimate what's possible. Okay, so some people might understand this one, writing product descriptions. Let me know if you don't like writing product descriptions or blog posts or any type of writing on your site and you wish that something could do it for you. For this, you either hire someone or you do this and you'd be sitting there yourself doing it. Basically, giving a rough estimation on this, writing a product description, single 200-word description, take around about 20 minutes, research, writing, optimization for SEO, making sure it's formatted right and everything like that. And if you had 100 product listings, well, that equates to around about 3 or 4 days of work. And with AI and automation, it's a 10-minute setup in the way that I'm going to show you in this workshop. So with this, you're going to save time, money, and it can be easily applied, this method that I'm going to show you, to any type of writing. So that's blog posts, landing pages, etc., etc. Okay, so let me know who here is on top of their social media game. I think we probably all agree that most of us don't leverage social media enough, and we definitely should, because we're leaving money on the table by losing potential traffic and customers. The problem is most of us think we don't have the time for it. If you're a busy business owner, and I've had businesses in the past, I just know exactly what it's like. You're just doing the day-to-day, trying to get more business in, but not thinking about things like social media and things like that. But the truth is, all you need is a little bit of AI and automation. So, sharing posts to social media is one of those things, posts and products to social media, that is one of the things that a lot of us could be doing. And what I've worked out here is sharing a post equals about 5 minutes per post per platform if you're copying or you're writing the content out yourself. And obviously you've got to make that in context to each platform. So, that could be different. You've got open up the app, open up the post, create a post, then put the text in, put the hashtags in or whatever you're going to use for the platform, and then find the image and add all that kind of stuff. So 5 minutes per post per platform. If you're doing 4 posts a week for 4 platforms, that's about 1.5 hours of work. And that, and more importantly, if you remember, around the busy day life of, running a business, you have to remember these things. If a blog post or products were published on a certain day and you've got a day that or time that's specific to the social platform that you want to post on, you've got to remember to do it, or you've got to remember to schedule it. You've got to take time to do it. But in the workshop, I'm going to show you how to do it with AI and automation. Again, 10-minute setup, super easy to do. And you may think like RSS feed apps or Buffer instead could take care of this, but shared posts and content look automated and boring, and this takes the content directly from your blog post or your product and the images as well. So this will sort that out for you. So the third one here is sending WhatsApp notifications for support, purchases, and booking. So as soon as someone purchases something or sends a support ticket or books something, if you want to do a notification and response, that's fine. You can set those up. But using things like Slack or WhatsApp, and then Slack notifications for your team. So you can use WhatsApp notifications for your team, Slack notifications, things like that, set up Discord, things like that as well. These messages for your customers, they require people, especially for support tickets, responses, support responses need to be quite swift, not have people waiting ages. So for a staff member to do this, if it's not part of their job or it's their focus, is 2 minutes per message, depending on, even if it's a templated message, sending it from the WhatsApp or whatever they're using as a platform. And if you get 100 requests a week, then that's around about 3.5 hours of work. And again, the method I'm going to show you is the AI automation. It's a 10-minute setup. So I think you kind of get it with that. So there are 3 big problems with the manual effort. Obviously, you burn time, you burn motivation, and when you stop, everything stops, especially if you're a sole entrepreneur, sole business owner, or a very small team, and you have split your responsibilities across people. But when your site is automated, basically, even if you take the day off or week or month, this is where your business becomes a real asset. Posts still go out, products still get shared, customers still get replies, and your store still runs. Okay, so here's a simple system behind what we're going to go through in a minute. Trust me, I'm getting to the demos in a minute. So to save 5 hours a week, basically you create whatever you create on your site, you publish your products or posts, then automation, your site handles everything else. Then all you need to do is update occasionally, review automations and AI automations once a month, just to check that everything's in how you want it to be. You can always tweak over time, and then repeat. And then if you do that system and you follow that very simple system, your workload starts to shrink every single week. So what you don't need to do this is custom code, APIs, Zapier, webhooks, big systems. And all you need is WordPress. And if you've got an online store or shop, then any e-commerce tools like WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads, MemberPress, they're completely optional. So you just need WordPress and this one plugin. Uncanny Automator, basically. It's an automation engine for WordPress. And while you can find dozens of AI tools, what makes Uncanny different is that you can connect any of those tools right inside WordPress. It's like N8N or Make or Zapier, but built specifically for WordPress. It's all hosted on your site, and it integrates perfectly with whatever else is on your site as well. So if you've got plugins on there, like I said, WooCommerce, MemberPress, Easy Digital Downloads, it will discover those, and it already has native integrations for them as well. Everything's on your site. So let's just stick with this actually, because I am going to drop in a link now for you guys to grab Uncanny. So let's go to the first demo. So create product details with AI. So first thing we're going to do is going to set up a trigger. Then we're going to set up some actions. So the trigger is going to be through WooCommerce. Product is published. Actions are going to be basically we're going to send that information to ChatGPT, OpenAI. Then we're going to get a response where the AI writes the product description based on the information we sent, and then Automator fills it out automatically, re-up and updates that post or product. Okay, so let's get to the bit a lot of people want to see, which is the demo. So I'm going to go into my dashboard now and share my screen. So hopefully everyone can see my dashboard. Just let me know in the... And I'm going to talk you through this now. So this should take about 10 minutes, but I will be explaining a few things. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Now, you may see that I already have Automator on my site right here, but you can get it, like I said, through your dashboard. Basically, go to plugins, add plugin, search for Uncanny Automator, and install and activate it. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get to this dashboard right here. And this is the Uncanny Automator dashboard. I've got the pro version on my site right now, but the light version looks exactly the same. All you do is you get some app credits to use in the light version, which means that you can set up integrations and connect to products completely for free, test everything out, and just see how it works and see if it fits with your business. So it's such a powerful plugin that, you know, I can only show you certain automations in this, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what is possible with your business as well. So from here, one thing I'm going to show you from here actually is basically that you get recipe templates, and this is in the light version as well. So you can see all of the great, fantastic things that you can connect in Uncanny Automator, which includes AI-based things as well. So connecting to ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude AI, and so much more. Now, you can see some of these are on Pro, so you need the Pro plan to do that. And stick with me because there is a fantastic offer at the end of this workshop as well, which is completely like blow me away that the team agreed to do this. So stick with me because I'll show you that as well. And it brings the price of Uncanny Automator down to a really great level in terms of the Pro and what you can actually use on your site. Now, just looking at this, if you've got online stores, then you know these are the kind of things that you can connect together. You know, with subscriptions, LearnDash, Buddy Boss, things that you wouldn't be able to connect elsewhere as well. And then the second thing I want to talk about here is I've already gone ahead and added some app integrations. And what app integrations are, I'm just going to click on it right here. Is these are all the integrations, the things that you can connect with your WordPress site. So you've got things like Claude, Asana. You've got ClickUp, which I've already got like a connection to, DeepSeek AI, Facebook, GitHub, Google, and then HubSpot, Instagram, LinkedIn pages, so much more. OpenAI, I've got the connection already set up, and WhatsApp down here. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've actually taken some of the time out of it, and I've actually connected up to those to these integrations. It's all it is connecting up to your account, and it's very easy through a lot of these integrations. The connection with OpenAI, it will talk you through about how do you get the keys for that and stuff like that from your OpenAI account. So you do need accounts on a lot of these on all of these integrations first before you connect them up. So let's take a look at the recipes. So this, if I go to all recipes here, you'll see that I've already got some recipes here in draft mode, and I'm going to create a new recipe right now. So I'll show you how this breaks down and how you start building a recipe. So all you need to do is come up to add new recipe here. And the recipe we're going to be creating right now is creating a product description using AI. So basically to do this, just select the recipe type because it's for logged in users, because we want that, because it's when a user publishes a post, it's going to be for logged in users. So I'm just going to click on that and click confirm. Hopefully everyone can see what I'm doing on my screen. Okay, so then the first thing we're going to do is to give it a title. I'll just call it AI product description. And then the next thing to do in any of these, and Uncanny Automator calls them recipes, but they're basically the same as just an automation. And what an automation is basically it says, you know, if something does X, then do Y. So the first thing we need to do is figure out the X, and the X is the trigger basically. So something happens and then this happens, and then you can do as many of these actions afterwards. So the first thing that happens in terms of the AI product description is that a user will publish a product or on the site. So to set that up, we're going to go into the WordPress trigger right here, click on that, and then it'll give you a drop down with all the different triggers that you can use for WordPress. There are so many of them. But if I just put publish, you'll see it narrows it down, and it's got a user publishes a post, a user publishes a post in a taxonomy. I'm going to select a user publishes a post. And then below the post type, sorry, I'm just going to click drop down, and you'll see there's post on page. So those are triggers that can happen. And then there are product as well. I'm going to click on the product, and then I'm going to click on save. And that's it. We've now set up the trigger. So basically when a user publishes a product, the actions will now happen with this automation. So the next thing to do is to click on add action, and we're going to look for the OpenAI integration. And you'll see all of these integrations and all these available here that are in color. Those are the ones that are currently set up and available. The ones that grade are not, but don't worry, you can actually just click on them, select them, and then it will take you through to connect your account up anyway. I've got the OpenAI one already set up, so I'm just going to click on that. And then just like it with the trigger, we can search for the actions that we want to in this drop down right here. So I'm going to search for generate text. And we can see we've got two here, and I'm going to click on the one that says use a prompt to generate text with the GPT model. Okay, and then automatically what's going to happen now is Automator has selected the latest model of ChatGPT for this. So I'm going to leave it like that. So what's happening with this automation is basically once this product post has been product has been posted on the site, we're now going to ask Uncanny Automator to send information to ChatGPT, so ChatGPT can write the description. So we've selected the GPT-5, or Uncanny Automator has. The next thing is temperature, and temperature is basically how creative ChatGPT is with the prompt. So the lower the number, the more accurate it is, or more in line with the prompt it's going to be. The higher the number, the more creative it gets, and the more further away it gets from the prompt. So I'm going to leave it as 1 for GPT-5. Then maximum length, you can put in a number here. I would suggest putting in something like 400, because we're going to go with a number, a word count of around about 200 on this description. But you can play with that number as well, and you can kind of figure out what's best for you. And then the next thing that we need to put in is a system message. And the system message basically is telling ChatGPT the perspective or lens that it should look at this task through. So for example, I'll just copy and paste a system message that I've already pre-written, and you guys will get links to this document and everything with all these prompts in, so that you can take the time and use them on your own site and test them out as well. So I'm just going to copy it over from my document. And then you'll be able to get an idea of what I mean by giving it a perspective. So in this system message, or this prompt, I've written, you are a copywriter for the site name, and I'll get to these little tokens in a minute. And this current website, the demo website I'm using, is actually a creative writing, copywriting website. So basically it's selling one book on the site. And so I'm giving ChatGPT an idea of what the site does. So You're a copywriter for site name, a store that sells books about creative writing, copywriting, and building a freelance business. Always write in a friendly, approachable tone that matches our brand. And before writing the description, always take a look at post title. And so you can see the token there, it doesn't work. So what are these tokens right here? Well, it's pulling in the information for the website and easily adding it to the prompt. And I'll show you this with the post title. So I'll remove that. And then if you see over here, you've got a little asterisk or star, you can click on that, and then you can have, that gives you access to all the tokens available from your site and within the automation as well. So what I want to do in here is I'm just going to search for a token, but you can actually click on the trigger here and search for it as well. You can see it's post title right there, but you can search for it right there as well. So I've added that, and now you can see it's gray and it's picked that. So it'll always use the post title from the post that's been published on the site. So what I'm telling ChatGPT in this case is basically just look at the post title to get a better idea of what the post is, or the post or the product is that you're going to be writing about. So once you've got the system message in there, that's absolutely fine. Then you move down to the prompt. And again, I'm going to copy one across over that I've used before. So just copy that, drop that in there. And now the prompt is basically giving ChatGPT instructions on what exactly you want it to write or create, basically. So for this one, I've put write a short, engaging product description for post title. Obviously, I'll change all these in a minute. Use details like the post excerpt and post content. I'll show you what that looks like on the product page as well in a moment. And to highlight the product's main features, keep the tone persuasive but friendly. Keep it under 200 words. So I'm just going to remove these tokens and add in the ones from here. So I'm just going to write post title again. Then I'll remove that and search again. Click on the star, post excerpt, and then I will search here, and this is post content raw. So you get two options, content raw or content formatted. I always use the raw one just to feed to ChatGPT, and then those are all in there. And then finally, within here for setting up the ChatGPT side of things or the AI side of things, you can add in a custom action label if you want, just to make sure if you've got a lot of different actions within one automation, you can actually see the difference between them. So you can do that if you want. If you don't want to do that, that's absolutely fine. Just click save, and that's now set up our open AI action. So our AI action basically writing the prompt. So here we're going to publish a product. That's going to send that information to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to use the system message and the prompt that we've used, plus the information that we've used added via the tokens to write a short product description under 200 words when that product has been published. Okay, so we've set that up, but now what happens to that response? Well, unless we actually add the action in for it to update the post, nothing's going to happen. So we're going to do that right now as well. So if we click on add action right here, you'll see it opens up all the integrations again. We're just going to come over to the WordPress one, choose that one, and then I'm just going to search for update, and we'll see update the content of a post. And that's the one we want to actually use. So we're going to click on that to select it. And then under post type, just click the drop down, go further down to pick up select the product, sorry. And then we can see we've got the product post type. Below that, we want to select something different to the actual product itself or the post. We're going to click on this, and then we're going to click on use a token or custom value. That's opened that other bit up. And now we can use the asterisk or the star again. And we're going to look for post ID. So, and we can see it's selecting the post ID from the product that was published. And that way it'll always update the correct post or product, basically. In the content below down here, if I scroll down just a little bit to open up more space, We don't have to write anything. We're just going to select the response from OpenAI. So we're just going to go in here, and this time I'll just show you what this looks like. So under actions, we can click on the OpenAI, the ChatGPT action. We can see all the information that we can get from that action. And the one we're looking for is response. So we've added the response into the content there. So now the response from ChatGPT will update in our product description. We can also give it the custom action label if we want. I'm just going to click save. And that's it. That's our AI product description automation done effectively. So now we've got those three things in place. We can see them. They're all live on the site. And this is currently in draft at the moment. So all I need to do is click this button and send it to live. And now, once a product is published on the site, it will now send the information to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will update the post. So we're going to test this in real time. This is where the fun happens. So I'm going to go over to products here. I'm going to, on my draft product that I've got here, I'm just going to duplicate it, and then I'll show you what the information inside this product as well. So this is the duplicate that I'm going to, this is the duplicate product. And if you can see, I've got a product title right here. I can remove that information there. And then I haven't got a product description in. If I scroll down, you can see I've got a product image that I've selected. And then at the bottom right here, you can see that I've set up a simple product price. And in the product short description, I've just written, completely overhaul your business in a weekend with this easy to use guide that dives into every aspect of writing for your business. So I haven't given it very much information. I'm just going to click publish. And as we can see, this is taking a while to publish. And the reason being is it's now automating. Okay, so now everyone can see that. And hopefully now we can see, if we go to view the product page, into something a bit more, it's added in the kind of benefits. So meet your shortcut to confident conversion ready copy. You remember I just wrote a line basically, and it sent this to ChatGPT, and it got a response informed to whatever you want. So I wrote quite a short prompt, but you could, if you've got a specific kind of, make that prompt that I used on my automation much bigger, give it more context, more ideas of what's good and what's not good. So you can response back from ChatGPT in terms of, probably its usage and how busy it is, but it, that amount of time, it gets you to a good place. And then if you wanted to, you could go in and tweak it as well. Okay, so next one I'm going to show you is auto share blog posts or product listings to social media. Now, what I'm going to do in here, this one, I'm actually not going to create one from scratch. I'm going to just go into the one. Neil's just, okay, let's just go back to the chat. Just time taking to make it work. It makes me wonder if it's over my head. I love the concept. Right, okay, so yeah, literally breaking it down simply, like you can go back and watch what I did, but basically those actions and automations that you can put in there in terms of talking to ChatGPT and stuff, it's similar to the prompt side of things with ChatGPT is very similar to what you would do if you were talking to ChatGPT or any other AI on the actual platform. You're just sending it a message and then you're getting a response from it. But rather it being in OpenAI or Anthropic or anything like that, you're getting that directly straight into your WordPress dashboard, and you're using that information in a way where you don't have to copy and paste it from another platform. Excuse me. Just over. And basically it's then using that information, it's updating posts and things like that, and then you can go in and you can tweak and add to it if you want as well. But the idea is it's cutting out a lot of the time as well. So Andy, where did it find the content list? So in the short product description, or you can put it in the excerpt box itself for, posts, pages, anything like that. It'll read that information there. So if you want to put more in there than I did, I just put one line. You'll give it more information, and then it'll be able to be more accurate about what your product or your post or your blog post is about and things like that. So that's where it found that information. Mason, does it work in other languages? Yeah, I believe it does. Check out the Uncanny Automator website for that one. You'll be able to see how many languages it's worked. Also, you can use ChatGPT on your website to convert blog posts into other languages as well, using a prompt. So in the way that I just showed you, you can actually use it to you'll just tell it to rewrite this post in a different language, and then it will do it, and then you'll be able to check it and just make sure it's fine. But it does do that as well, and I believe that's one of the selections that you can use on the automation for OpenAI as well. So Neil asks, so in your example, is ChatGPT looking up your book and writing the summary, or is it making up features it thinks the book should have? That's a good question. So it's making it from that very, very short line that I gave it. It's basically giving it a bit more it's got creativity around that. If I was spent a bit of time doing it, just basically writing out the points that are in the book as well, the kind of maybe methods or theories that are hit, in a bullet point form, it'll then elaborate on that using the prompts that you add into the automation, giving it some guidance in that sense. It'll then be creative about that, and it'll write that way. Like I said, if you've got blog posts or product posts or any kind of examples of things that you've written that you think are really, really good and get to the point and are in your voice, it's always a really good idea to add that to the prompt section, or even the system message, just to say, this is the style we write in, and then it'll kind of understand that and try and emulate that when it comes out and does your product description or anything else it writes for you, which we're going to see in this example right here as well. So the next thing I'm going to show you is to auto share blog posts or product listings to social media. So we're going to trigger the published post, action, share, and a title, share the title and link to Facebook, Instagram, and X. And we can include a featured image and link along with the tags as well. Jerome, yeah, you can use a different AI besides ChatGPT. Claude, Anthropic, DeepSeek's on there, OpenAI, Minstrel AI, and I believe there's another one on there. So we could just, I'll remember it in a second when I'm doing the demo. So let's just jump into the dashboard. And Deb said, can you use this to improve the products I already have published? Is it what you do by using duplicate? So I believe you could trigger it to, there is a way to trigger it to update posts that are already published. I'd have to think about the trigger for that. But a good thing to do there is reach out to the Uncanny Automator team if you're thinking of something like that. They'll be able to advise you on that. I think there is a way of doing it. Okay, cool. So this is the dashboard that we're back in. Let's go to Automator right here. Open that up, and then let's all look at all the recipes that I've got on the site right here, and the publish post. So publish post product to social media. I'm just going to click on that. That's the one I've already created for this, and I'm just going to walk you through it so we don't spend as much time me selecting things. So obviously you add a title. The trigger here is a user publishes a post, which is a product this time, but obviously you can do post, page, whatever like that. So we've already kind of established that trigger and how to select triggers on your site. Next is an OpenAI trigger, and basically the trigger for this one is generate an excerpt suitable for Instagram with GPT-4. So this has some prompting baked into the actual action. So basically it takes the content from the product page or the post or the page itself, and sends it to ChatGPT, and then it generates the excerpt based on that. So you can see if I click on the little blue tag right there, it opens up the configuration for this or the settings for this. And we can see that the content that's being sent to ChatGPT is basically just the post content raw. Nothing else to select there. Just click save, and then that's done there. And there are two of these, I believe, in Uncanny Automator. There is suitable for Instagram and suitable for Twitter or X. So there's two different ways of doing it. And the Instagram one is also suitable for Facebook pages, which is what I've set up right here. So you'll be able to see that the next action right here I've selected is Facebook pages. I've selected the response for this to be publish a post with an image to a demo page that I've set up on Facebook, and we'll run this and we'll see exactly what it looks like once I run this automation. So I'll just click on this here to open up the configuration for this. And if I scroll down, you'll see that basically when you set up anything like Facebook, Instagram, social media, other accounts, you get to select either pages or accounts that are associated with your login. I've selected the demo page. You could have multiple here as well. So you could select from the multiple in the list, but I've selected one. So then that's the one that's going to be published to. Then in the image URL and media library ID, basically, if I just remove this and click on the little star here, we can select, if we go through the trigger, the post featured image URL. So that means that it's going to use the featured image from the post, the page, the product, or whatever, and use that as the image in your Facebook post or Instagram post. And then in the message below, I've just selected the generated excerpt, basically, from OpenAI. And below that as well, I've just put the post URL in here as well. So we could just put, like, before that, we've probably just add in link and then post URL, and then we'd be able to. So what comes back from ChatGPT will be the excerpt that is wrote about the product, and then some hashtags, and then we'll have the link for the post as well in there as well. I'm going to click on save on that. So that's how you set up just posting to one social media account. And the great thing here is if you click on add action, you'll then be able to add multiple accounts like Blue Sky. What else we got on here? We've got chat. We've got Instagram. We've got I think we've got like Telegram. We've got Discord. We've got lots of different things to choose from. X is over here as well. So you could then have multiple social media accounts in this automation. I'm just going to delete this so that that's not there. So then you could have ChatGPT write an excerpt for Facebook, Instagram, and then you could basically duplicate this by clicking duplicate there, and then have it write a different way for Instagram, have it write a different way for X. LinkedIn pages are on here as well. And so you could have it write multiple posts all in one go once that product page or post is posted on the site, which saves you a lot of time if you're thinking about the slide where, you know, the amount of time that you'd spend on this as well. And it will write in context, so you'd be able to tweak each one of the responses in a way where it makes sure it's using the right kind of language and for the audience on each platform that you need it to. Okay, so once you've done that and that's all live, and it's live over here, I'm now going to duplicate if I go to the product, I'll duplicate the product. Just for demonstration, I'm just going to duplicate this product because it's now got the description in it already. And if I click on publish, what should happen now is that should be published to the site and also send that information to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT send that directly to the Facebook page. So wait a moment. Okay. So what if I now, let's just see what. Deborah's right. So yeah, when you actually yeah, let's just stop sharing this screen a sec, and then it will go to my Facebook page and be able to see. But yeah, when you connect up your account via the integrations tab that I showed you earlier, it will take you through authentication, a couple of clicks basically to connect to your Facebook account for, well, Meta account for Instagram, Facebook, then X, obviously LinkedIn. You'll sign in for different accounts, and once you've given that, once you've authorize that sign in, it'll be connected to Canny Automator, and then you'll be able to use that not just in this kind of automation, but in many other automations as well. You can pick and choose and add them in so that you kind of like build that automation, that flow out for whatever that you need it for. So I'm just going to show you my Facebook page, the demo page, just so you can actually see the post. So if I scroll down, actually it triggered on the last one I published 14 minutes ago. So this is the kind of post that you get out of. So this is the one basically that if you didn't have the information in. So something that you might have to do if you use these in conjunction with each other. So if you're publishing a post, a product, and you're using ChatGPT to write the description, then what you'd need to do is you can add a delay to the automation for social posting, and I'll show you that in a second as well. This one actually came out from the original product that didn't have a description, just had a very small, short description. So basically, it sent it to ChatGPT for that. But if we look at this one, this is the one that I've just done that had the description already written. And you can see that it said, looking for a snappy, compelling copy that drives conversions, say hello to copy, edit, publish. This book, basically, it's got the key highlights. And then it's also got the link that we added in there as well. And that was done really, really quickly as soon as I press publish on that post. Now, if I just go back 1 second to the page, because I do want to show you that in Uncanny Automator. Just go to recipes. And if I click on this. So what I was saying is if we're going to use these in conjunction with each other and you're using AI to write the product description, and then also you have an automation like this or something like this that uses that product description to post to social media, what I would recommend you do is let it have a delay, basically add a delay for it. So if you click on this little delay button right here, you then can delay Uncanny Automator. Uncanny Automator will then delay the amount of time between that post being published before the information sent to ChatGPT. And what that allows it to happen is if you're running an AI to write the description, that will then complete before an update, before sending, before running this part of this automation basically, and sending the description to ChatGPT for it to write a post to then post on social media. So if you're using them together, you might want to put a delay. And with this, you can delay it by 10 minutes if it's after the product has been published, or you can put it on a schedule so you can run it at a specific time, or you can use a custom token. And you can find out a little bit more about these by a link there, where you can basically say, you know, if your audience is online on Friday at 1 p.m., then you can say Friday at 1 p.m. that you want that to run, so that no matter how many posts or products are published, you basically, Uncanny Automator will keep a log of all that and then run this on that time. And all those posts will be published at different times, depending on how you schedule this out. So that's something you can do just to avoid it sending random things to an account, basically because you haven't given enough time delay between it writing the description and adding it, which you saw on the Facebook page I had then. Okay, cool. So that's that one. And if we go to the next slide. So looking at the chat, yeah, so some people have arrived late. That's absolutely fine. There is a replay of this. You will be able to get that. It'll be sent to you via email after the workshop. And is there a way to set these up and create drafts instead of published items or posts? I hesitate to post anything without review. I believe there is a setting in there to when it's created as a draft as well as a trigger. Check it out. If you just add Uncanny Automator to your site and just and take a look at it. Like I said, the free version has everything that you just see there. Just some of the options for more advanced automations will be available in Pro, but you should be able to look through the settings and be able to see if it's going to work for you. I totally encourage you to do that because there's some amazing things you can do connecting this together. Okay, cool. So and then the next one is send a WhatsApp notification automatically for support, orders, or booking. Just going to quickly run you through this one because there is going to be time for Q&A after this as well. So I'm hoping that we'll do that afterwards as well. So if you have got any questions, drop them in the Q&A section as well for me, and I'll answer them in full. Okay, so let's go to the recipe. And I'm going to go to the WhatsApp recipe right here, which I created earlier, and click on it. And this is different to using AI. So I just want to show you what this is like without running some AI through it as well. So for this one, basically, when someone purchases a product, you could either, for this one, basically, sorry, when someone purchases a product, basically what we're getting it to do is to generate a unique coupon with WooCommerce. So they bought something through WooCommerce, but this could be any other platform, EDD, MemberPress, or anything like that. And then it's generating a coupon, and then it's sending that coupon to someone with a WhatsApp message. It doesn't need to be a WhatsApp message. I just wanted to show you that option's available. If we look at the actions here, there's other things here like email, basically send emails, and then other messaging as well that you can do depending on the information that you collect during the billing. So if I just delete that, you'll see here that basically with WooCommerce, the trigger was basically pays for a product, and you'll see pays for there. But the interesting part is you can actually select a product itself, or you can just select any product. So, and then you can select how many times someone actually purchased it. So you can set these up to, if someone purchases a bulk amount of something, then you could offer them, a coupon or something like that. I'm just trying to give an example of what you could do with it. And then in the actions, generate, and in this coupon configuration, basically you can then get it to do a unique one. You can either type in one that yourself or give it a new unique one. You can choose to have a percentage discount or fixed cart discount. I've chosen a 15% discount, and then I've selected individual use, and they can use it on all the products. There's no excluded things on this. And then I used a limited use one per coupon. So what happens then? Someone purchases the product, WooCommerce generates the coupon, and then Uncanny Automator takes that coupon code and then inserts it into a WhatsApp message to be sent to the billing phone number of the person that just purchased that product. So you can start thinking about the ways that you could use this in terms of your customer communication, how you can increase sales and things like that as well. This is a very basic example in terms of what I'm just running through. And so WhatsApp has lots of different actions you can use. This is send a WhatsApp message to, and then if you click on this, you'll see I've selected the billing phone number right here, and then in the body I've just written a really, really basic message. Hey, first name, which you can select from the automation. If you like to book, be sure to check out the other items, use this code, and you can then select the generated coupon code from this action right here. So that will use that unique coupon. in this message for 15% off your next order, and then thanks. And I've just saved that. And what will happen then is as soon as someone buys the product, they'll receive a message with that unique code in, which they can use on the store. So that's just showing you that overview without having AI in there of what you can add in. And like I said, you can add in time delays for things as well. So you could send one message and then you could wait. If you look at the delays, you can wait as long as hours, days, or years in this one. Basically sending multiple messages on different platforms, wherever your audience is, or your customers, you can set that up, and you can really go in depth and build out some more complex kind of communication campaign between you and your customers this way. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that. Hopefully that's given you an idea of the kind of things that you can do with Uncanny. And let's just bring up the slides. Okay, so we've had a look at the WhatsApp automation. Okay, so for what I've just showed you here, and it's taken a little bit of time because I was explaining it and trying to give you as much detail as possible. Obviously, it's it's not very long workshop, so I just wanted to kind of give you this information. But let's just add this up for what you've seen here, and maybe you can apply this in different ways, in terms of fits for your business. But product description, if it was 20 minutes 5 times a week, it's in 1.5 hours, and you can automate it in 10 minutes using the steps that I've showed you without my talking in between and explaining things. Social sharing, 30 minutes times 4, 2 hours. And WhatsApp notifications, 20 minutes 5 times a week is 1.5 hours. So basically, these 3 automations, and this is just scratching the surface, literally, over 30 minutes, or a bit longer than that in terms of me talking and things like that. And you can save 5+ hours a week just with what I've showed you, without all those integrations, showing you all those integrations and what they can do. And, all the products that you use in your business, you can think about the ways that you can link them up with WordPress and use AI to help you with those things as well. But in just what I've showed you, 5 hours a week, which is over 240 hours a year, or 1.5 working months, basically, a year. So, just in what I've showed you is fantastic saving in time, and also it runs automatically, so it doesn't wait for you or run on schedule. It'll run when things happen. And that's something I didn't show you in Uncanny Automator as well, is that you can actually schedule automations to turn on and turn off as well, so that you can, if you're planning ahead for certain campaigns or releases or launches on your site or within your business, you can start planning ahead with that, and you can start building out those automations to help with those things as well. Now, I break this down into like monetary terms. What does this mean in monetary terms? And obviously this is just an example, but I use, and it's going to be different where you're coming from globally. But I've used dollars and the US for this one. But if you had to hire an assistant at $15 an hour, working 48 weeks of the year, or this was someone in your team, you'd be looking at something in terms of the region of, product descriptions is roughly around about 72 hours, $1,008. Social sharing over 48 weeks, 96 hours, $1,500. And WhatsApp notifications over the 48 weeks, 72 hours, similar to the product descriptions. So total potential cost just for what I've showed you. Obviously, this doesn't cover everyone's situation. So I just wanted to kind of give a small segment of what this could save, is roughly around $3,600. And if I and like I said, we just scratched the surface. So imagine what's possible with your business as well. And for this, basically, you can, we've joined up with the Uncanny Automated team to basically offer 40% of any Uncanny Automated plan. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and then we will get into the Q&A for any questions that are left. Hopefully I'm trying to split my time between the chat and this. So it'd be great to hear what everyone thinks about Uncanny Automator, whether you think it would be useful on your site and things like that. I mean, if you run even one website, this can change your life depending on how you look at the automations, look at the integrations that it has and what you can connect up. If you manage client sites, this could be your unfair advantage in terms of how you set things up for clients, because basically you can get your time back. You've got mental freedom, less admin, more creativity, more focus, and a system never stops working even if you do. So yeah, check it out via the link in the description. Use the code WPB workshop, to get the offer, which is 40% off any Uncanny Automator plan, which is the best discount we could get with Uncanny Automator. That was a really good offer from the team there, to help you guys get started with the pro version of Uncanny Automator, but obviously add the light version of Uncanny Automator to your site for free. You're going to get those credits and you can start testing things out and seeing how it comes together. If you guys want, just let me know in the chat what you guys think about Uncanny Automator. That'd be great. And I will go to the Q&A. And the cost of Uncanny Automator, sorry, Dave's asked the question, what's the cost of Uncanny Automator? With the 40% discount, the basic pro is, I believe, about $119 for the year. So versus, what the saving here is just for those 3 automations that I basically showed you, it's great value for money. So the basic pro version will get you unlimited credits so that you can set up all those connections. You can connect up your OpenAI and all that kind of stuff. And please type here the discount code. Okay, yeah, sorry. I will type the discount code there. I do apologize. Just post that in there. And then I'll just post a link underneath it as well, just to make it easy for everyone. So use the link, add the code, and that will get 40% off. Like I said, I think it's about $119. Neil, I'm glad you find it interesting. Yeah, definitely food for thought, and this is why I did this workshop in this way. Hopefully it gave you some idea, how you can add ChatGPT, but also, Uncanny Automator, you can use AI with it, or you can just use the connections between different integrations, and there's lots of different ways that they can actually talk to each other, which I can't go into in massive detail in this workshop. It's just to give you an idea of how it can help people in their business. This honestly does save a lot of time for a lot of people if you spend that like 10 minutes on it, even just sketching out your workflow, things that you do in your business, and then taking a look at the integrations that Uncanny Automator has, and just thinking, well, is there anything that it can save you on, even other plugins, because Uncanny Automator doesn't just, offer AI features to add AI to your website. It can, help, reduce costs on platforms, plugins that you use and things like that. You can connect things up. So there's always options, and they're always adding more and more integrations to it, which is fantastic to see. Okay, cool. Let's just go to the Q&A and I'll just get these sorted. So is it true if you use AI to generate content, Google can detect it and penalize you in Google search results? That is a good question, right? So this is a question that a lot of people. So yes, if you're using it in a way where it's just coming out in terms of a really basic response, then whether or not things can detect, Google can detect things being AI, because I'm going to be honest with you, I reckon about 70 to 80% of written content on the internet has some sort of AI tweaks to it. So whether that's the outlines that people have used to write content, or for social posts and stuff like that, the best method that I've always found with writing with AI is, yes, use it to generate very quickly some ideas, or basically like the product description there, and then add a little bit of your own flair in if you want. One thing you can do as well with those descriptions is, when you're using Uncanny Automator in that way, is you can obviously test the description with just one product. So set the automation up, test it with one product, just adding in a little bit of text into that excerpt, and then tweak the system prompts and the prompts to and the amount of information that you give OpenAI or ChatGPT to see what kind of mix of prompt and also information gets you the right result. I said a really good way of like hacking that or cutting down the time that you spend with that is literally write a product description yourself, or blog post or anything like that, copy it, write your system prompt, and then say, here is a great example I want you to use, below the part where it says always look at the product, the post title. Basically doing that is you're saying to ChatGPT, I want you to forget about everything else other than what the prompts that I'm giving you, and I also gave you a really good example. Excuse me. And it'd be surprised how good its response will be based on the information you give it. It's all about context with AI. The less you ask of it inside the prompt, the more it's going to be creative and probably more kind of general. But the good thing is when you start adding in certain things that you do like, and generally it's what you do want, then it becomes a bit more specific and also understands how you write, and also can emulate what you write as well, especially if you use an example. Hopefully, Sammy, that answered your question. But yet, Google detecting and penalizing you in search results, there's two sides to that, and I think, yes, if you were generating content on a mass and not checking it, like as in just giving it very basic instructions and not telling it what you want and this is your style and stuff like that, then it's going to be quite obvious, not just to Google, but to people looking at it. But if you go in a bit more and be a bit more specific and give it an example, you will definitely get something that's a bit more, that is closer to how you write. And that's much harder to detect from a Google point of view. And also Google have to admit some point that people are using their AI and other AIs to write content for the internet. So whether they're going to penalize people too much is it was a couple of years ago when people were basically mass producing content and trying to game search rankings, that they started coming down on people really hard for that. But I think that'll start they'll find a point where that's not going to be acceptable, because people are, use it, and AI has got so much better at, emulating and people's styles and things like that. Can the plugin utilize ChatGPT products or company knowledge features? No, not within internally from ChatGPT. It's basically just accessing the models. So it can't access your like projects in your account and things like that. Does Uncanny have good customer support? Definitely. Check them out. Just send them a message and find out. Michaela, can this be used for newsletters? It's a very good question. So it can be used in terms of with email platforms. Now you saw that in there as well, there was the email option. Obviously that's using your transactional email from your WordPress site. Whether you'd get a very good rate from that in terms of you'd have to use an SMTP plugin. It's probably better to use it in conjunction with an email platform, and it can help you in a bunch of ways. Like I said, if you go into the recipes section of Automator, and check it there, you'll be able to see if it's using any of your email platform in there. You just type it into the search, whatever email platform you're using, and you'll be able to see all the automations that it actually has already as pre-built recipes, and you'll be able to kind of use it that way for that as well. Can WhatsApp notifications be used for website visitor follow-ups? Definitely. Definitely. Depending on how they're dropping how you're accessing the information. So obviously you need their number in one way or another. So if they've signed up and they're logged in, and you've got that as part of your like sign up or membership or or the account, then you should be able to access that information, I believe, and then notify them. There are, I think, automations in there for abandoned cart and things like that with WooCommerce, which is fantastic. So if someone leaves something in their cart, you can send them a quick WhatsApp message to let them know, basically you got something in a cart, and then maybe send them an offer at the same time, generate a coupon, send them an offer at the same time. Jerome and Sammy, thanks. And Asin, could you please explain some more provision for delaying ChatGPT publishing to social media accounts? So yeah, so basically what I was saying is, if you're using ChatGPT to publish content on your site or update whatever you've written, and then you want also to run the social media post automation, you need to give it a gap between each automation. So basically, you'll tell ChatGPT, one automation, you're telling ChatGPT to update the content. Now you need to let that update finish, before you want Automator to send the content of that post to social media. The reason being, in the gap there between them, if there's no content on that post when it's published, but ChatGPT is just about to fill it in for the first automation, then the second automation will actually look at the post, go, okay, there's no content on this post, and then it'll just make something up and then post to social media. So basically, with the delay, what you want to do is just break that up. You basically want to give it either a 10-minute delay, something like that, just so that the one automation can finish and it can update the post, and then the second automation can pick up the post as it's completed from ChatGPT, and then use it again to generate the excerpts for X, anything like that. Don, where is the list of capabilities of the free account? So I believe that's in the link that I shared in the chat. So I think it's the automated plugin /plans. It should show you a comparison of the different plans on that page. Sorry, you're talking about free, aren't you? So for the free account, I don't know whether they've got something on their website. The only way that I find that out actually is I just install it on my site, the Uncanny Automator free, and then you'll see that basically something that's tagged pro, it's got pro features, but there's lots of WordPress based and other like integrations that are actually included in the free plan. I have a list actually available that I've found, but I will search for one as well, and we'll link it in the emails that we send out. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat to see what's going on here. Interesting and helpful. Thank you for the info. What version? We have a client that does lots of events via WP Forms. Could you set up a weekly email that says how many people signed up in the past week? I believe that's possible. I would just wonder how you'd get the number of people. I'm not sure whether I don't know whether Uncanny can count like submissions and things like that, and then for you to post out. That's an interesting one though. And Neil, I would definitely just contact the Uncanny team. They're really good at responding with this kind of stuff. So if you've got that certain specific situation, they'll be sure to help you out with that and kind of put you on the right path to that, because I'm not entirely sure how it count the sign-ups. What version of PHP does this work with? I think it's Derek. It's the latest one, I think. Brett, please speak briefly on the potential for automated feedback loops from visitors to a WordPress site. So for automated feedback loops, Brett, give me some context. Like, give me some information about that. Like for your situation, I'll be able to kind of like help you out there. Margaret, thank you for information presented today. Thank you, Margaret, for saying thanks. So, what are the limits on how many socials a year, etc., extra fees? Right. So there's no extra fees as such with Uncanny Automator at all. I mean, obviously there's if you're paying for any of the other platforms, there's obviously their fees, which has nothing to do with Uncanny Automator. Uncanny Automator's free version is however many credits it gives you. So I think it said 250, but when I did it a couple of days ago, it gave me about 750 credits, but it could depend on what it is, what the time of year and things like that. So yeah, if I think with those credits, basically it's just connections and API connections and stuff like that it's counting and just letting you utilize it. But in terms of the limits on social accounts, I believe it's based on the platform. So, if you wanted to post 100 posts like in one go, it might not let you do that. It just depends on the platforms themselves and what their limits are. But for most situations, there's no limits in terms of what you're posting and how you use these automations. It's just basically Uncanny Automator has one fee in terms of the basic. The plans is, I think even the basic pro is unlimited, so that you don't get capped at anything. It's just a one-time fee for Uncanny Automator. It's not actually a recurring or extra fees or anything like that. Hopefully that's answered your question, Deb. So if you click on the link, it's not opening. Hold on. So I just clicked on Kunanda, even if I click on the link, it's not opening. I've just clicked on the link and it's opened that page. Hopefully it's opening for other people as well. Okay, cool. I think that's all the questions, guys. If you do have any other questions, I didn't see. Oh, Brett, there we go. I see your response now. Thinking about visitor being asked, given the opportunity, encouraged to provide feedback about specific aspect of website's content and visitor complying. So for that, I mean, if you're thinking about like a visitor being using kind of like a pop-up or maybe like place a form or something like that on the site, you can use that. Automator works really well with WP Forms, and it's got a lot of different connections and integration with WP Forms in terms of how you set that up. So you could basically, so for way I see it, and I could be wrong in terms of this, Brett, is if you're asking for feedback about a specific part of the website, you could place a form. That form could then have the submission. That submission then could be analyzed. You could even say it to AI to analyze it and to write a response, and then the response could then be sent via the email automation action back to the person using the email or any of their basically tokens for that person in the email response, basically. Feedback loop wise, I'm not unsure. Maybe Uncanny Automator team would be better at filling in that question for you if I haven't quite done it for you. Oh, that's good. All right. So yeah, I just use that, and basically you can. One thing I didn't say here is as well, you didn't have to have it customer focus. The good thing with this as well is it integrates with multiple platforms like Slack. So if you basically had a team on Slack or whatever your messaging is, or even email, it can also notify your team when things are happening. So if you don't have notifications across plugins and things like that, it can fill in those gaps for you. So, someone made a purchase, you could tell the shipping team that someone's purchased a product, you can set multiple things that you could just add in there. And that's the great thing about it, is you set up a basic one and then you can go back a month later and you can go, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what could I add in here to make it even more streamlined? Another 10 minutes of your time the next month it's just going to be a compounding effort of how much you save and how much you save for your team as well. And you can start shaving those little bits of time that people spend on things away with just adding tweaking things on an automation. And it's amazing how much this, like I said, compounds. You know, I just showed you like something to show say 5+ hours, but realistically for a business it could save a lot of time, and you could focus people's attention more on, you know, what they're good at and what in less on the repetitive boring stuff. Right, cool. Hopefully that's great. Everyone's enjoyed the workshop. It's been fantastic to do this with you guys, and hopefully you get an idea of how you can use automations on your site. And even if it's not something you thought about, and maybe it's gave you food for thought. Okay, the link, yeah, cool. The link is here. Sorry, the link seems to keep on disappearing in the chat, and so I'm going to post this in the chat now, guys. This is the link to Automator. Just click that link, use the code, and you'll get the offer. You can also install Uncanny Automator through your WordPress dashboard. It's completely for free, so you can test it out. Like I said, you can use some credits, and then you can upgrade using this link. I'll say now that I think this offer's around for the next 4 days only. So if you grab that now, that is the best offer you're going to get for Uncanny Automator. So definitely grab it, because I think there's a limited time offer on it. And so if you get Uncanny on your website, check it out, and then have a play with it, see what it can do, and then basically, thanks Don for adding in the light version link there as well, so you can get it on that site as well. But yeah, so hopefully that's giving you an idea of what you can do with Uncanny Automator and automating your WordPress site, adding AI. There's so much more you can go into. If you've got anything that you guys want us to cover in a workshop, just drop it in the chat now. Any questions or anything like that, or any aspect of your site that you're thinking about and you want to see a workshop like this about, just drop it in the chat. I'm going to leave that open for the next 30 seconds, and then we'll close this workshop, and I'll see you in the next one. The next one is going to be in next month, and you'll get an email to let you know what that one's going to be about. But yeah, thanks so much everyone for joining this workshop. Neil, security. Yeah, we did the security workshop a while back. I might have to bring another one back. Okay, cool. Security. Okay. Yeah, so thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for sticking with me going through the demos. Hopefully I explained everything, but if not, just let you know what if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat, or you can also contact us at support@wpbeginner.com. And yeah, I hope you all have a really good day, and thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.